Okay. Okay. Hi everyone. My name is Arin Trongsantipong, or you can call me Jed. That's my nickname. I'm the head of product at Alpha Finance. Does everyone here know about Alpha Finance? Do you guys know us? Oh well, not a lot. Okay, so a little bit introduction today. Who is us, right? As Alpha Finance has found in 2020, back in the previous bull run, right? And we are the one who built the world's first leverage yield farming protocol called Alpha Homura, which we has reached like 1.8 billion USD in TVL before, and right now we are also doing that. But I mean, in terms of TVL, it's gonna drop a lot, right? Because we are in the bear market, anyways. Well, yeah. Well, basically, we are the one who built the world's first leverage yield farming. So yeah, I think that's all for the introduction. We don't have that much time today, so I'm gonna go through my content quickly and we'll try to cover everything as much as possible. Here's the agendas today. As you see that here's the topic, right? We're gonna go through how can we build the product, launch it, and after that, how can we maintain it, right? But before that, we have to talk about what do you have to understand before you build the product first, right? You have to understand the market, understand the crypto, understand the users here before you can build. After that, I will go through what to build, how to launch, and what to maintain after you have your users. Oh, and also feel free to ask any question if you have. I will try to answer as much as possible. Okay, let's start with what to understand. I think everyone already know crypto is like a cycle, right? When you are building something, you imagine that you are building a product that like you have some good idea, but I mean, if you launch it now, I don't think it will get the result as same as when you launched it back then in 2020, right? So what you have to understand first is understand the cycle of crypto. Since crypto is very early industry, right? It's gonna be up and down a lot, right? So before, right, in 2018, I think you guys know that the Bitcoin crashed back then, and then we back to starting point again, and after DeFi bull run in 2020, and we go up again, right? So you have to know where you are and build accordingly in the moment or the point that we are in. Like imagine that you want to launch the DeFi protocol right now here, maybe here, I'm not sure, and comparing launches back then, the traction that you will get will like a drastically different, right? Because like the people in the bull market will a lot more active to use things and to gain more money. So yeah, you have to understand the cycle first. I mean, having the good product idea doesn't mean you will successful, right? Because it's also require the timing too. For example, Uniswap was built before 2020 bull run. It didn't gain any traction before that. Even the idea itself is very cool and it's very sustainable, right? But they launched it back then around like a 2018 and 19 that this was bear market, nobody is using it, so they didn't get any traction. But after the bull run, there's #1 exchange right now. So the timing and market cycle is very important. Second thing, native money. One key things about blockchain is that the blockchain solves, what blockchain solves is bringing the money into the internet and making it native. So anyone can transfer it freely across the world, right? So think about the super hassle Web2 payment gateway of banking that anyone want to integrate. You have to do a lot of documents and make a lot of requests before you can use it, integrate into your system, right? But what blockchain and Web3 solve is make that thing very easy. So anyone can use that to transfer the money. So which means the product that really works in this industry is the product that helps people make more money or keep the money efficiently, according to the left-hand side, right? Such as Aave, MakerDAO, BTC, including also Uniswap. So since money is natively embedded in blockchain, right? So most of the thing in this space is driven by money. So in the bull market, a lot of people will keep coming in and build a new thing, competing with you with a very fast pace. So you have to know that who are you competing with. And that's two things that you have to understand first before you build the product. First, understand the cycle, and second, blockchain is about money. Okay, so then what to build, right? When we are talking about what to build, the product itself, there are 4 things that I want to share. That these 4 things are the things that I will always have in mind when I try to build a new product. First, incentive alignment. Second, sustainability. Third, a must. And lastly, security. I will go through each one. So and will explain to you why it has to be these 4 things. First, building a product is all about matching the demands and look at the incentive alignment, right? Then if you are trying to build a product that have only one party and the incentive doesn't match at all, so nobody will use it, right? For example, the things that have very clear incentive alignment of the product is decentralized exchange, such as Uniswap, Balancer, and Curve. There are 2 parties in this system. First, the trader, right? The trader wanna trade the tokens on chain, but there's no liquidity. And the liquidity provider / market maker have the money or the liquidity, but there's no place for them to provide those liquidity. So Uniswap match the needs or the demand of these 2 people together and launch the product as the decentralized exchange. Or lending protocol, very obvious example. The lender has the money and want passive yield. Borrower want to leverage the yield or to find more yield using the borrow money. So the lending protocol match the incentive here. So they launch Compound and Aave. Second, after you have the incentive alignment, right, then you also have to think about the sustainability of your product model. Because if your incentive, even your product has a very clear incentive alignment, but if one of the party that not creating the long-term growth, such as if you have 2 parties, right, and you can see that the incentive of those 2 parties are aligned, but in the end, one party gonna lose, then your model is not sustained, right? So we also have to look at the sustainability of your model, such as the product itself must be able to sustain without any external factor, such as boosting with money, liquidity mining, or whatever that will help the product up and running. One of the very cool and interesting idea of sustainability that I really like is Curve. Curve itself is the decentralized exchange that focusing on stable swap, right? But you can see that when people swap the stable coins, the platform itself taking very less fee, which means the incentive for the liquidity provider is very low, right? Because it doesn't make any sense to charge that much money for stable swap. So Curve itself introduced the VE curve, right? The model that will help incentivize the liquidity provider through their tokenomics. So this way, the product, the Curve product itself can sustain without any external factor. Then if you have a clear model that has sustainability and very good incentive alignment of your users, then you have to focus on what to build. There's two things when you are building product: a good to have and a must. Don't build a good to have because that's not what your users really want. Build a must. One way to look for a must is to look at the incentive alignment at the very first topic, right? But look in terms of money. People in this industry is driven by money, right? Look at the feature that you are gonna launch. Is the thing that they really want in terms of money? Yeah, it will be very clear on this point if you look in terms of money, because we are people, we are greedy, and then they're gonna use it anyway. Yeah, if it's clear. But if you are still not, it's still unclear, or you have no idea on that, then there's several ways to determine a must. First, trust me, use your gut feeling. It's okay to use your gut feeling on this. This is the most effective way when you are building the product. But there's also a lot of risk in using this method. Because when you are using your gut feeling, there's a lot of bias according to your experience and everything. But if you have built your product enough, or for a long time, you will have a hunch in your mind, then you can determine the must very quickly. But if you are still not sure and not confident to use your gut feeling, you can do a very traditional way in doing the product, do the prototyping and user interview. This is also fine, right? But I mean, this is the easiest way to find a must, but also the most time-consuming way in doing the product too, because you have to go to all the things that user wants and try to determine, go out to find your users and talk to them, and you have to extract the insight from them. It's gonna take a while before you get a must. But a good thing for user interview is you're gonna understand more about your users. When you are doing your user interview, you have to listen to them and observe them carefully, have an empathy. Try to ask them the open-ended question and try not to guide them for them to answer or question them to answer the things that you want to hear. That's not gonna work. Just try to ask very why and have them answer you what they really think. And after you do several user interviews, what you really need is, when you are gonna do a feature, you wanna find a feature that 10 out of 10 or 8 out of 10 of users quickly answer you that they wanna use it. And that's a must for you. And lastly, Defi Protocol. Then there's also coming with a hack, right? Security or rigged. Security is the most important thing when you are building DeFi protocol. There's no shortcut for smart contract development, right? One wrong move, then that's it for your product. If you got hacked only once, then that's it, right? So there's no middle ground. You need to be top of the game when you are building smart contract or your security models. But I understand that in this space which is move very fast, your competitor gonna move fast, you have to move fast too. So you have to carefully wait between speed and security when you are developing a smart contract too. The image below is the leaderboard from RegHQ, if you guys know. You can see that each hack costs more than millions of dollars, right? It's very I mean, it's a high risk, high return in this kind of industry too, because as you can see that when the money or your product is easily accessible from anywhere in the world, which means any hacker around the world can also trying to hack your product too. Yeah. But I just want to add one more thing, that I mean, when we are talking about smart contract, right, everyone will have one thing in your mind, that the contract that have to be open source on Etherscan, BSC scan, or whatever the contract smart contract host must be verified. But I mean, if you look at the technical level of blockchain itself, the source code that is really open source is the bytecode of the contract, not the real source code of the contract before compiling, right? So which means not verifying your source code is also fine. You can build the trust through other ways for your user to trust you to use your platform. That's also reduce a lot of attack vectors on your protocol too. So I mean, because at Alpha, we also not verify our code too, and we try to build trust in other ways because we were very scared of these risks. Yeah, for example, the below smart contract code cost $1.9 million because of this stupid public visibility function. Only one line of code, just one word. They forget to remove the public visibility. Only this line of code costs 1.9 million. Yeah, so I mean, choose your Pokemon. Try. Yeah. Yeah. So to summary about what to build, there are 4 things: incentive alignment, right? Build the incentive alignment. Look at the sustainability. Build a mask, and make sure your security is top of the class. Okay, after you have your product, then you want to know how to launch it or how to market it to your users, right? I mean, this is not like it's quite obvious. There are 2 things of this kind of product launching. First, marketing. Second, incentivizing. There are 2 ways in doing this. The first way is very it's quite simple and not that simple in the same way, because when you try to market your product out to create awareness, you have to make sure that your content, your message, your narrative have to be very, very strong for the users out there to understand what you are doing, right? Crypto people live in Twitter. That's your main communication. It's very obvious. What you have to really focus is your narrative. And your one tagliner must be very clear. Let's say that if when your users hears your name, then they will oh, this protocol built this. You have to build the message that makes the user think like that, so everyone can understand what your product does. And you have to make sure that the audience understand how your product works too, because I mean, crypto people also have have a lot of types of people, but the one that have the strongest voice out there is the one who try to use your product and educate others to use too, right? That's the people that you want to target. So you have to make sure that your content cover all of that on how your protocol work and how can they use it. And last thing, memeing is not a bad thing in this industry. Crypto people love memes, but don't overdo it. And second is incentivizing the user to use your product. I mean, it's simple like this, hey, everyone use my product, I will give you money. It's something like this, right? Yeah. Yeah, by your customer, right? There are 2 main methods in incentivizing your users. First, liquidity mining, very obvious. You will incentivize your user using your tokens or your treasury or whatever, some kind of privilege that will give your users money in using them. Some protocol give the money to your user to borrow the money out for some lending protocol. If you are borrowing the money, you get more money. Well, why don't I use it, right? Yeah. By doing liquidity mining, you can easily bootstrap your users because everyone loves money, but make sure that your liquidity mining program is not your product. The product itself is the model that we talked before, right? That the sustainability, the incentive alignment. Distributing the tokens here or the money here is not your product at all. This is just a way to bootstrapping your product and growth hack your product in the very fast, and that's it. So I mean, it's just a short-term solution. So I want to remind again that LM is not a silver bullet. You can see a lot of cases that treat LM as the product itself, and the product is failed already, such as Ohm and Anchor. Yeah. Second is vampire attack. I'm not sure everyone here are familiar with these terms. Vampire attack is a way to quickly bootstrap your protocol by incentivize the users of other protocol that has similar functionality or has very like a nearly same idea to use us instead. For example, SushiSwap back in 2020, it allowed anyone who have Uniswap LP to migrate or directly provide the Uniswap LP into their platform, and SushiSwap itself will give them sushi token as an incentive. Or Astroport Exchange also did that back in last year before the collapse. they did the vampire attack on TerraSwap too in the same manner. This is not a wrong thing or a bad thing, but I mean, because this industry is driven by money, right? So a lot of users is looking for only the yield. So is it okay to incentivizing them this way to get your users fast? Yeah, and that's all for how to launch, right? Marketing and incentivizing, two things. So after you have your product, you can launch it, you gain some traction, you have TVL, you have your users. Then what to maintain next? It is clearly there are two things that you have to maintain. First, the product, right? Second, the community. The product itself is very simple. You just keep building. Iterate it with your users' feedback. Getting more user inside, find a mass, and iterating, keep building. That's all, quite simple. But the tricky part and the most important part in maintaining is about the community. Your community is the last one that you want to lose. Why? Because if you have your community or a group of believers, you can fail multiple times. Yeah. You can fail multiple times, I mean. Or even they will believe you, even you don't do anything more than what you are doing, or you don't have any new features, they will still stick with you. That's the group that you don't want to lose, trust me. Yeah, so community maintaining is the most important thing that you have to maintain. The two protocols below are the examples of what successful community looks like, right? I mean, Cardano and Shiba Inu. I don't want to mention that much, so yeah, well, I think you understand. Yeah, I mean, yeah, your community is what you really have to maintain. So that's all for my content today, and here is the key takeaway from my session. First, before you build, you have to understand the market cycle and understand that this industry is driven by money. Then, if you want to build something, you have to look at 4 things: incentive alignment, sustainability, only build a mass, and build top-of-the-class security. Want to add more? The security itself, trust me, I've got hacked before, so you don't face it, trust me. And if you have your product, you have to launch it wisely through marketing, or you can incentivizing your users to bootstrap or growth hack your launching. And lastly, maintain your community. Product simple. Yeah, and that's it for today for me. I hope you enjoy my session, and not sure if it's helpful, so thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much คุณ Arin or คุณ Jade นะครับ and if anyone have any questions feel free to ask, because Alpha Finance has been in the market for quite long, and you know, now you are in like a launching stage, and maybe if no one have any questions now, I would like to ask. Okay, I would like to ask.
Okay.
What would be the best strategy to launch a product now, as in, you know, different from 2 or 3 years ago No, actually just last year. When the market is like bullish and then everyone is like, wow, new project, here's the money. But now it's bearish. But yeah, you know, you want to announce that, okay, I have a new product, please give us the money. How should we do that in this kind of market?
Yeah, well, this is just my opinion, but I think in this kind of market, you just have you have to show your potential through your product itself. Which means when you launch a protocol, don't expect the hype or that much users.
So different strategy from
it
before.
will be very different. It's gonna be a long-term game. You have to build your product and keep it alive until the bull market comes.
Keep it alive
Yeah.
until the bull market come.
Yeah, and that's all. Just keep building and make sure it's like a sustain until the hype is come.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much คุณเจตคุณอรินทร์ครับผม